But you got to live for you. And it's not being selfish. It's understanding that if you don't live for you, then who the fuck are you living for? You got to be in the mix. Diana, you got to look inside that soul, boo, because you're not attracting shitty people for no reason. You're not attracting people that are cut off for no reason. You're not attracting people who are unavailable for no reason. Got to look inside that soul, boo. Exactly. My G sons are they're almost 9, and up until last year, I was well, no, I would say a year or two before that, I was a full time grandmother, and it was all about them, and all their needs came before me. And then finally, it was like, nope, I can't do this. Like I can't be the full time grandmother anymore. Like, no, I got to live for me now. I got to figure out what the fuck does my adult life look like. I've been a mom since I was 15. I was like, when am I ever going to be a single adult with no fucking kids? It was like crazy. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Good, good, Mandy. Keep writing. They do need to grow and live for themselves, right? Louisa, like, they got to. Thank you, boo. Oh, no. No, you know what the thing is? You can't, if you're going to blame yourself for everything your kids do, then you might as well sit in a shitty, dark corner for the rest of your life. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. You cannot take the guilt and shame for every choice that your child makes. Every choice that your child makes is not on you. If your child decides to be a fucked up person, you can't sit and say, oh, it's my fault. They're a fucked up person, because everyone has their choices. You know, like I said, my parents weren't the best parents as far as the way they raised me, and they chose what they chose. Now, I could have chose to be the same way. I could have made that choice to be like, no, I'm going to be just like them. What I did, it was like, no, I don't want to be like them. I want to do something different. I want to get out of the fucking ghetto. I want to work for my money. You know what I mean? I chose to do something different in my life. We all have a choice, and they're choosing theirs. It may not be what you want for them, but that's their choice. Aw, good night, Diana. Right, right. It's like I said, you can't take their lessons away from them, and some parents have to stop trying, because yes, I know we're the guides, and I know our what we show our children have a big impact on their life, but you can't take the responsibility for everything that they do. You just can't. Good morning, Alyssa. They're going to choose what they choose, and their choices are their choices. You need to figure out, who are you in this life? That's what I'm hearing. Who are you in this life? Good morning, Jasmine. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's hard to say, who am I? Without these kids, without this shit around me, without all the distractions, who am I? Who the fuck am I? It took me all until this earlier this year, when my kids were finally out of the house, and it was just like, well, shit. Who am I if I'm not dealing with them, who am I? And it made me really, I was finally alone, like really alone. And it made me realize some shit earlier this year about myself, and that I've always had the crutch of my children around. I've always had that crutch. Um, I mean, I'm setting the tone of the day. So if I get up in the morning, I'm setting the tone. If I sleep in, then I'm setting the tone, right? No, like I said, I do know that it comes out a little harsh, but that's kind of the words, that's how spirit speaks through. It's like this, it's unfortunately a little bit harsh sometimes. Thank you, Alyssa, for the stars, boo. Oh, thank you, boo. See, Debbie, and that's the thing. Because the day that everyone leaves your home, you're going to be like, it's too quiet. Wait a minute. The house is still clean. Wait a minute. How do I cook for one person? You know what I mean? All of these things start to come up, and you're like, wait a minute, how do I cook? Because that was one of the biggest things. How do I cook for one person? Um, okay, there's nothing to clean up. Ain't nobody here. There's no one for me to yell at. It's just like, okay, it's really quiet. It's eerie quiet. And then you got your thoughts starting to come in. So then you got to deal with those thoughts like, oh, you ran from us for too long. Now you got to fucking listen to us. And so, it's all of those things that kind of come in. So just remember, even if your children are small, try to get to know who you are. Give yourself that time, because once those children are gone, you're left with this confusion like, who am I now? You know, you said you're old, Jasmine. Now, I'm not saying be alone for the rest of your life, but I will tell you, if you don't know who you are, if you have not sit in a state of being alone to get to know who you are and your authentic self, I would say don't date. One of the things that I've noticed about all of this healing that I've gone through is one of the reasons why I'm single. It's that you cannot call in a loving partner when you're not loving and healed inside. You end up taking a lot of shit out on people who try to come and love you. So it's like, if you know that you don't know who you are yet, why even get into a relationship? You're not authentic to yourself. You're still in a hurtful place. You're still in a depressive place. So why try to bring someone in those moments? Like, all fun and games aside, you shouldn't be dating if you're unhealed. That's my personal perception about it. You should not date if you're unhealed. If you're still healing, if you're still hurt, if you still got a lot of shit going on, if you're still insecure, all of that shit comes up for you, I don't think you should be dating. Right, Brenda, you're gonna flip the fuck out. You're gonna flip out when you see that. You're gonna be like, holy shit, what happened? Bye, boo. You're welcome. I think, that's one of people's biggest problems with dating is that we're rushing to find this person, right? We're rushing to find this other half to complete us. But let me tell you, you need to complete yourself before this person comes into your life. Because relationships are added benefits, right? Just like money is an added benefit to life, but it doesn't make or break you, and it shouldn't. Neither should a relationship. One of the things I've noticed is when people are mad at you when you're changing, right? That's on them. That ain't got shit to do with you. I would tell you, my daughter is well, like I said, me and my daughter worked out a lot of things, but my daughter, she was very spoiled, very fucking spoiled. So when I really started to change, when I really started to have my awakening and was like, no, this is about me, she was pissed off and mad, like really pissed off and mad. And she said some harsh stuff. She called me very selfish and all of this stuff like that. And I was just like, wow, that's interesting. But one of the things you got to remember is when you're changing and you're not doing all the shit that you used to do, that people are used to you doing, you will get called names. They will look at you a certain way. They will talk shit to you. They will, because you're no longer giving into the shit that you used to give into. And that is okay. Because eventually they will either get on the program or they don't talk to you no more. Either way, it is what it is. But you always have to make sure that you're doing for yourself and taking care of yourself in that way, you know? Yeah. But you got a lot of shit going on with that. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna jump off of here. It was cool to just do some morning talk with you guys. I feel like it was definitely meant. We had some really powerful conversations this morning. So exactly, you gotta accept the new me, or we ain't in alignment no more. And it's okay if we're not in an alignment anymore, right? And we gotta be okay with that. Our kids included. Um, I feel like eventually people will see the new you and then they start to say, oh shit, this person has changed. This person is not the same person. It is what it is, right? I know. Just you guys, after this live, release it. Go do something that makes you happy. Go do something that makes you smile. Do something that makes you laugh today. Make sure you do one fucking thing for yourself today. All right. Make sure you do one, at least, I say at least one thing today, to just love yourself and to make yourself happy and put a smile on your face. All right. Love you guys. Light and love.